The great bubble and the great crash that is happening in front of our eyes right now. And I want to share this with you because there's common characteristics around these marketplaces that whenever you're getting involved with these markets, you can start to spot a bubble and stop yourself from getting involved with the bubble, because those who end up getting into the bubble end up getting in at the top or round about the top, and then the collapse happens, right? We're seeing that with the cryptocurrencies right now. We had a massive move up. Here we go, 50 to 100,000. Here we go. Right, big move. And then what do we see? Now we're seeing a complete and strong utter sell-off in the markets. So I want to bring this to your attention here to talk about that. One of the biggest and ultimate mistakes that I see most people make, and they get sucked into the FOMO or fear of missing out, and we have to bring it back to what market is all about. The market is an energy balancing phase. The market is a energy field, right? And one must balance each other out, right? So what I mean by that is this, is that if we've spent a lot of time, if we do this and this and this and this, this is called using so much energy. And whenever we start to get into complete vertical movement like this, this is now complete exhaustion. And I see bubbles, normally a very good healthy bull market will go up, it'll come back down, or go up, and then we'll have a big pullback and then we'll go up, right? But whenever we do this, I promise you, the normal healthy pullback, the market will do that and go that. But whenever we start to get the bubble in the market, when you think about energy, is like sometimes that I've done in the past, you just push it. You're not getting a lot of sleep, but you're going, right? And you're going, and you have a cup of coffee, and you have an energy drink, and and also you have, when you go to the gym twice a day, and you light up with caffeine, and before you know it, you've had 600-700 milligrams of caffeine for that day, and you're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And guess what ends up happening? You do that for a day, for a few days, you do it for a whole week, and what ends up happening? You start to get you crash, right? And you're in bed for the whole day, or the body breaks on you and you get sick, and therefore you actually slow down. You slow down, or you get sick, and then you're bedridden for a few days, and before you know it, you're sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours in total, including your naps throughout the day, because the body says, I need to recover. That's exactly how these markets work. And this is where when bubbles start to present themselves. And with all markets we look at, if we see anything that goes complete vertical, like we did here with Tesla, look at this here. If you look at any of these movements here, look at this here. The last time we went this vertical was back here. But what ended up happening? A very big drop to the downside. Now that doesn't look like much, but that there was a 30% drop over almost 2 months worth of time. What's happening right now with Tesla? We are down what? We are down 40%. 40% over the last, 2 months now since the high. And so whenever you are looking at a market, whenever you're trading the market, the biggest thing to tell you to not get involved with this here, and this is where gold people that are trading gold right now are getting sucked in, right? And I promise you, people that are entering gold right now on a short-term trading opportunity are going to get run over. It's happening right now across all markets, right? And if I bring up, let me bring up, for example, the good old, the Bitcoin, right? We all see what's happening with the Bitcoin right now. The ultimate crashes. And this is not the poo-poo on any market. No, this is to keep you safe. Because if you want to have a good chance of actually riding a big move doesn't come after a big move, right? If we go down to the good old Bitcoin, look at the Bitcoin today. I call it Bitcoin because it has just been bitter for a lot of people, right? Right? We all saw what happened. Look at this here. Hey, all right, where's my good old Bitcoin? Right, look at this here. Right, this one here. Right, so look at this. Look how vertical we actually went from here. And every time we've done this with Bitcoin, right, you get them, Big vertical move up, and now we go through this. Big vertical move up, and now we go through this. And look what's happened even recently. We're falling off a cliff right now. Everything. Complete bubble and falling off a cliff. So the purpose of me doing this video for you is that I want you to be able to start to spot and the worst time to get into the market. I repeat and I repeat, the worst time to enter a position is after the market has been going up for a few months. Yes, you may capture the last 20% of the move. Don't wait for the market to go up and then say, oh, Bitcoin's gone from 60,000 to 95,000. Let me try to get in now. That is the worst time to enter the market. Because if you've just followed me now, even for the last 7 days and you've watched my videos, how do markets work? Not your indicators. Throw those shits out the window. Stochastics, MACDs, RSIs. One, throw that shit out the window. Secondly, throw your thoughts out the window. But John, the economic data and the big boys and that. Throw it all out the window. Why are you making life so hard for yourself? You obviously don't want to make money from trading because it doesn't need to be that complicated. One simple rule. How do markets work? When we go through an energy using phase for a while, then we're going to go through an energy building phase. Then we go through an energy using phase. Then we're going to go through an energy building phase. And sometimes what's the energy building phase? Sometimes it's many months. And through the energy building phase, sometimes you're going to get a lot of volatility. So stay away from this shit. And then we go through another energy building phase or energy using phase. And now we're going through another energy building phase. So the worst time that I see most people, and the reason I'm doing this video is because I don't want you, if you want to have longevity in this market, and unfortunately, 90% of you guys watching this video right now, come June this year, you won't even be around. I promise you this. And the number one thing that I see that most people make the mistake, the great bubble and the great crash, complete falling off a cliff. And the number one mistake that I see, and going back to Tesla, is this. Whenever they look at the market, all they're seeing is this here. All they're seeing is this here, and they think, because they don't know how the markets work, and as you can see, it's only really two simple techniques. Trend analysis and the energy phases. Because after a while, as you heard me say many times, after a period of going through this vertical move, the market's going to get tired. It's going to get exhausted. We're going to go through a resting phase. I need to build energy. I'm tired. And that's where we start to get these sort of phases in the markets. And so no wonder Tesla is actually having a really big drop from here. Why? Because it just had one of the biggest vertical moves. Last time the vertical move was from there to there. And then we saw what happened afterwards. Look at this here. Look at that vertical move. Every time we've made vertical moves in Tesla, in any market, look what happens. Vertical move up, big drop, 50%. Vertical move up, big drop. Right? And now we can see what we're looking at now. And again, this is not the poo-poo Tesla or Bitcoin. This is how all markets work. And this is why I always say the worst time to get in is after the market's been going up. The best time is when we're going sideways through here, and then we start to get a bit of a breakout after we've gone through sometimes a few weeks or more of an energy building phase, then get in on the next leg. Because now you're getting in on at the start of the next energy using phase. And most people are waiting for, and I guarantee you, as soon as this started breaking above these highs up here, and we started looking at 450, FOMO kicked in, that's it, Tesla, takeover, $1 trillion company, blah, 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 thoughts, theories, opinions, out of your asses, here we go, indicators, this video, that video, blah, 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 and the market crashes on you. And you're all left there saying, what the bloody hell just happened? Everything I thought about, every time I was thinking, every video I saw, blah, 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 was completely wrong. And the number one thing is always completely right is how the markets work on the deepest level. And that means whenever we go vertical and it goes vertical too much and it's been going up, especially for a few months or more, we are now getting way overextended and the market is now going to likely to start to enter a energy building phase. And sometimes if it's too vertical, it's now called a bubble. The great bubble is going to equal the great crash. And that's where most people get this wrong. So don't enter after the market's already been going up for a few months. Wait for this time here to reset. Then you have a much better chance of capturing the next big move.